Mama. Howdy, folks. This is Season 1, Episode 5 of Scrolling with Charlie, International version. Somehow I'm awake, and we actually have almost a full house. It's called the International Show, but we only have 3 that are overseas, but we'll take what we can get. But I'm going to jump right into roll call. I'm getting some kind of weird feedback, but I'm going to start in roll call, starting with Scott Marshburn out of North Carolina. He will show up as e-cabinets, tips, and tricks. But tell everybody, I can't. You don't have to tell them where you're from because I just did. But tell everybody about you, where they can find you.
Well, my name is Scott, and like you said, I'm from Jacksonville, North Carolina. You can go to my YouTube channel at e-cabinets, tips, and tricks. On YouTube, of course, I have a Google Plus page and also a Facebook page. You can reach me there.
I don't think I even have you on Facebook. That's a shame.
I'm not real familiar with Facebook, so I don't mess around with it a whole lot.
Alrighty, thank you, sir. Next we'll go to Hachu Boom out of Holland. Tell everybody about you, where they can find you.
Well, I'm Houtje Boom. I'm from Holland, and you can find me on Facebook and you can find me on YouTube under the name Houtje Boom.
And if you're wondering how to spell that, her name is spelled Hautje, and then Boom, Boom. And she just added me as a friend on Facebook yesterday. It's about time we actually connected. We've talked 3 times now, or more. And we are our international show regular. We have Karol Kolanowski out of the UK. Tell everybody about your funky self, sir.
Hi, I'm Karol Kolanowski. I have a YouTube channel called Polished Woodworking. You have the link over here. And I have a Facebook page as well, and Pinterest and all that stuff, but it's all on. When you go to my YouTube page, you can find everything there. I'm working on the website as well.
Good deal. All right, now we have Mr. Mark Sherman. He's not much more awake than I am, but he's in Nebraska. Tell everybody about yourself. Don't forget to unmute.
I am Mark Sherman. I'm from Bellevue, Nebraska. I can be found at Mark Sherman on Facebook, and I also have a page on Facebook is Sherman Squirrel Works. So I think I have it here on my screen. So that's about it.
Alrighty then. We had somebody else, but they dropped out. He was having technical issues. Now we have don't tell me, Michael Haddo out of the UK. Tell everybody about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm Michael. I'm from England, and I'm just like a hobbyist woodworker, to be honest. And you can find me on YouTube under the name Norwegian Wood. And then I think my link's in the picture on the at the bottom of the screen. That's where you can find me.
Alrighty, yes, that reads Norwegian Wood, and yeah, it's everything he just said. Michael Scrollsaw is his YouTube name.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next, I'm going to skip our lovely co-host because everyone knows about him. We'll come back to him. So we have Scott Sanders out of Oklahoma. Tell everybody about. My time's not awake yet. It's 5 a.m. here in Texas. You're out of Oklahoma. Tell everybody about you, where they can find you. You're muted.
How about now?
You're good.
Okay, my name is Scott Sanders. I'm in Oklahoma. I do have a YouTube channel, just my name is Scott Sanders. And Facebook, Scott Sanders as well.
10-4, appreciate it. For what it's worth, your audio is slightly poppy. I don't know if it's just me or everybody else, but Mr. Russ Clarity is looking at the YouTube page, I think, or texting his wife or something. Anyway.
No, I was looking at YouTube.
10-4, Russ is out of Florida. Tell everybody about your pretty self.
I'm Russ Clarity. Been scrolling for approximately 30 years. You can reach me on YouTube, Simply Wooden Creations. I've posted a few videos there. On Facebook, Simply Wooden Creations. And if you have a few minutes, you can stop by my website, simplywoodencreations.com.
Also, thank you, sir. I am Charles Deering, also known as the Spaminator. Inside story. I'm in Gatesville, Texas, which is about halfway between Dallas and Austin. I have YouTube. I am known as Charles Deering Scroll, which is where you'll be watching this video if you're not watching it live, or even if you are watching it live, I think, from the YouTube channel. Anyway, on Facebook, somebody just wrote to me as I'm doing the show, but okay, on Facebook I go by the Charles Deering, and I just launched woodvisions.com, and we'll get into that later because that's part of what the show is about, is showing off our websites. And thank you very much, Michael Hado. He was complimenting the Joker. I'll get into all this after a while. We have Stevie Roger viewing along with 5 others. He says, "Hi guys, would it be possible to add everyone's links into the description so it'll be easier to access their pages?" I try to get everybody to do that after every show, but nobody ever does. But I'll try to get them to do that. Y'all heard of Stevie Roger wants you to post all your social media links in the description after the show airs, or yeah, gets posted and stuff. Okay, I'm awake. Thank you, Stevie. Okay, first topic we had. I guess we could just go down the line. Not everybody here uses a scroll saw, but you know it's a free country, and even though it's an international show, we've got a lot of Americans here too, and we've got Howchi Boom out of Holland, good old Kolonowski, and Michael Hado out of the UK or England, whatever you want to call it. And they say Texas is a whole other country, so we'll go with that. I guess starting with Scott Marshburn, do you have any physical products you'd like to show, or do you have a website you'd like to show off?
Well, I don't have a website, but as you guys probably already know, I'm just starting out scrolling, but I did cut this ship's wheel the other day.
Awesome.
And I'm working on a couple of patterns. I've got the same ship's wheel with, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, welcome. Quite a bit larger.
That's beautiful.
And I'm working on one with the lighthouse. This particular pattern I got off of Scroll Saw Village. The lighthouse was done by a guy who goes by Vector 01.
That's awesome, man. You see, you got the whole ship wheel thing going on for the border. That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
I believe I got that ship wheel from you, so I need to. Do you mind if I also use the idea of using that to enclose different scenes?
No, go right ahead. That's why I sent it to you.
I appreciate it. I don't want to steal anybody's glory because some people are really touchy about borrowing their ideas. All right, I appreciate that, Scott. Next we have Howchi Boom, and I did not stutter. I usually stutter doing her name. Out of Holland, do you have anything you'd like to show us, and/or a website you would like to show us?
Well, I made this little moose, three compound scroll sawing. It's just a project what I want to do with the kids on school, so I figured out if it's work out, so it worked out.
That's beautiful. I mean, yeah, I forgot to mention Howchi Boom is also a teacher. I believe she teaches what in America we call special needs children. And I think it's awesome that she teaches them that kind of stuff. But yes, that's for anybody that doesn't know what compound cutting is, and you cutting 2 different sides of a piece of wood with 2 different patterns on it, and it makes something 3-dimensional like that. Thank you very much, Howchi.
Thank you.
Got all Kolonowski. I know he has I think he has a website. If not, I know he has stuff to show us.
I don't have a website yet. I got my Facebook page. You know, I don't need to navigate on Facebook page.
Well, I mean, if you don't have anything there in front of you to show, you're welcome to go to your Facebook page.
Yeah, I got my last project I did.
Ah, you want to tell everybody how you did that?
Yeah, it's I designed it on live on the show when Raz was showing how to do the hard and that, and while I was on the show, I was doing it on the side. So I designed it. It's it's Polish names for grandma and granddad. So I scrolled that out of one piece of pine, and then my wife decorated it with, pictures of my children and all that.
And that's called a decoupage.
Yeah, decoupage. Yeah.
That's something I'd like to have more learning on is decoupage, because I wish we could get your wife on the show at one point, because she seems to be really good at it.
Doesn't speak English, unfortunately.
Oh, you can be a translator.
Yeah. It's not that it's quite easy to learn, and this was her third piece that she made, so you can do it a lot. I also done some stack cutting.
Oh, quite a bit. Butterflies and flowers.
Butterflies, flowers. I got some hearts somewhere else because she wants that to decorate some stuff as well. Trees, something like that, three-dimensional trees that you can make a family tree on it. So with
that's cool.
From plywood, so
Yeah, looks like the wall behind you is butterflies and flowers. So it all kinds of work out.
It's not wooden ones. It's vinyl.
Alrighty. Is that the room you sleep in, or are you in your living room?
Yeah. It's my bedroom here.
Cool. Alrighty. Appreciate it, Cuddle. Next we have Mark Sherman out of Nebraska, and he always has something pretty to show us. Last week he showed us, it wasn't on the international show because I don't think we had one, but he did a cutting of Yoda from a design I made, and that turned out pretty cool. It was talking about the spiral blade, saying, I don't even remember what it said because I've slept since then, but go ahead, and if you've got anything to show, Mark, just...
I do have the Yoda behind me. Let me grab it.
Sure. And I apologize to the viewers that think smoking is unprofessional for me to do, but I'm tired.
This is normally sitting in my garage, so.
Yeah. Anybody wanting to know what it says under it? Because people are afraid of using spirals, so I made up a little meme that said, "Use a spiral, you must, and afraid you must not be." And he made a picture out of it. I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you very much, Mark. Do you have anything else you'd like to show us, or our website?
I've been doing a lot of these word plaques, so I guess in honor of Valentine's Day today, this is the one that I just finished last night. So.
Aww.
So this is love you more. Best friend of mine for his wife, so hopefully we pick him today and possibly stating it. So he'll have a fun time stating it between all these little letters. So that's about it, though.
Good deal. That's very nice. Yeah. If there's anybody watching that happens to be alone today, don't get depressed. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but I assure you, if it helps any, you're not the only one that's alone today. I'm married and I'm alone today, but I'm not resentful. We're not divorced. She's just over at her sister's. But if you're single and don't have anybody, Valentine's Day is mainly a Hallmark holiday, so don't let it bring you down. I shouldn't even be getting into that. But next we have Michael Haddo out of the UK. Do you have anything? He doesn't necessarily specialize in scroll sawing, but I believe he's done a little bit. Do you have anything you'd like to show us?
No, I do specialise in scroll sawing.
Oh, you do? Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only woodworking I do.
Good.
I don't really have anything physical to show you, but I can show you my website in a minute. And
okay.
I can show you a magazine that I was published in.
Hi.
And that's my chess set that I made.
Compound cutting again.
Yeah, that's
cool.
And then it's basically, I don't know if you can see. Yeah.
What magazine is that?
It's the British Woodworking Magazine.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed. That's cool.
Yeah. It says UK's #1.
Good deal. Well, while we're at it, do you want to show your website? I mean, give people a quick run through. Do you know how to do the screen sharing thing?
No, I don't.
Okay, move your mouse all the way over to the left, and you'll see all the list of icons. Go to the green one with the white arrow in it. You click on that, and then you'll click on full screen on the upper left, and then navigate to the screen you want us to see. If you need me to repeat that, go ahead. I don't mind doing it.
No, I think I've got it.
Okay. All right, we've got it. So I'm going to go ahead and present you to everybody. Make sure everybody can see it. Right now I see myself, which is never pretty. Okay, there's his YouTube page.
Okay, this is basically my YouTube page, and I don't have a lot of content on it, but what I do is I show you how I made my chess set, and I show you how to make just little miniature scroll saw creations, basically. So whether they're compound cutting or jigsaw puzzles, or fretwork or inlay, yeah, just show like little demonstrations and tutorials how I do it. So that's basically it, to be honest.
And there again, his username on there is Norwegian Wood, or you can search Norwegian Wood, or his username is Michael Scrollsaw. Thank you very much for that. Is that what you're calling your website, or is that?
I don't have a website yet because I don't sell anything, but I probably will.
Yeah. Understood. And to turn off the screen share, you just hit just hit stop. But might as well go down the line, even though he's a co-host. I know he's got a bunch of stuff behind him, and he's got a website, so just go on to it, Mr. Russ.
Well, I kind of like Mark. I was doing some stuff for Valentine's Day, so that's one of them.
It's backwards.
It's backwards?
Yeah.
Well, for you it is. For me, it's not. I could read it.
That's very nice. He's got a whole mess of stuff behind him, but oh, I got to stop. Well, crap. Sorry, Russ. I just realized I was still presenting. Michael, no offense. Let me go back.
There we are.
Thank you, Carol, for pointing that out. I don't have to present Russ because he's not showing his website yet. Go ahead, Russ. Show that again if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Very nice. You don't have to be sorry, Michael. It was a technical issue on my end. I believe Russ is selling that pattern, aren't you, Russ? I could be wrong.
Yes.
But okay.
Yeah, I'm selling those patterns, and then was working on some wood art.
Very nice.
And then if you want a real quick, I've been doing a complete remake of my hang on just one second web page, but so it's not completed. I got jealous after Charles posted his, so I'm trying to read it. My web page is like 5 years old, so
my website doesn't even have any finished pictures on it right now. It's all pattern related, but go ahead. It's not about me yet. Go ahead.
Let me go to screen. I'll get it out right in a second.
Yeah, we're not awake yet. It's okay.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the opening page, obviously. And these are some of my works that I do. Like I said, I went through and deleted a lot of old. My daughter brought her camera over. She has a real nice camera, and took some more pictures of some of my stuff, some of my work, and I've put them up. But I have not had time to go back in and edit them with prices and stuff. So
he was not prepared for today's show.
No, I mean I have so many things in the fire doing that new video and trying to get it edited. And some other stuff. It's just, and then I'm watching my grandson now in the afternoon, so that's a handful. Trust me.
Absolutely.
This is some other.
There's a lot of very nice content there.
I do have intentions on going back and finishing this. I'd like to point out one thing. This little clock down here. That looks like a birdhouse. It's actually about 6 or 8 inches in depth. So I haven't got a side view posted, but this clock is actually over 30 years old. More than likely close. Yeah, it's around 30 years old because I made it when my daughter was probably 5 or 6, and she's 36, so it's about 30 years old.
Wow. Do you have that design, or do you sell it, or?
I don't even have a design. It's so old that I didn't even make a design. Actually, I remember when I made this, and I just one day popped up in my head, and I made it. I mean, there's a couple of things that are on here that I think. Let's go back to products 1 just real quick. See, this picture of this bass here, if y'all can see which one, this is
Yep.
about, actually this is a little over, probably about 10 years, 10 or 12 years old. I made
Excuse me.
years ago. So try not to go too quick to make you dizzy. And this is a picture over here is actually my grandson, the one I'm watching in the afternoons. I made of him a few years back for my daughter as a birthday present. So we'll go to patterns real quick. These are the few of the patterns that I have started to put up and display for sale.
And for some reason, I've always loved that one on the far right. It's so simple, but it's one of those I think would just fly off the shelves, along with the ones on the far left. Now, most people
This is
know.
I know it's too late for Valentine's Day, but this right here was a free pattern I posted up for Valentine's Day that people could come and you can still take it. I haven't taken it down yet, so it's in a PDF form. And then the last page basically is the videos, and I just uploaded one today, so I've got to post it here. And I'm thinking about changing over to a blog. I don't know, that's a lot of work, and especially as much stuff as I have that I'm doing. Stop sharing this.
I'm not entirely sure I know how to blog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I want to do that. That's a lot of work, and especially with everything that I've got going now, doing videos, and I'm starting to generate more patterns, and going to start selling more patterns. So one of them things I'll wait to see.
Excuse me for coughing while you were talking. I'm usually wide awake at this time, but luckily for the show, I had to slap my alarm clock. Okay, thank you very much.
Well, I got you beat. I got 3 cups of coffee in before I got out here, so I'm live and wired.
I've got a whole bottle to wake me up, but it's not working because I drink it 24/7. Okay, Mr. Scott Sanders, do you have a website, or if not, do you have any kind of examples of anything you do that you can show us?
I do not have a website, but here's something I've been working on lately.
Need to present him to all.
Oh yeah, if you can hold it up a little higher. I'm trying to. Dang it, I can't get this.
Maybe this will help.
Yeah, something to contrast it.
Is that a sprint car?
Yeah. There you go.
Very cool.
Little bit higher. We got the thumbnails on the way. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Cool.
It's number 8 for anybody that follows. It might be somebody specific in the sprint car world. Or
It's actually my boss's son. He races sprint cars. He's number 8.
Oh, good deal.
And then this is something I'm going to try starting on today.
Okay, a little bit higher. That says, I can't tell what it says. You want to read it out to us, because I can't flat.
It's our football is Queen of Tigers. I'm going to try word art today.
Okay, good deal. Got a whole mess of word art going on. Thank you very much, Scott. Do you have any pictures on Facebook you'd like to show off? Or?
No, not really.
Okay, 10-4. Guess we'll move on to little old me. I'm running out of stuff to put on my walls, so I'm going to go ahead and show what I got. This, technically, I can't tell that's design because it's obviously copyrighted. This is Harley Davidson motorcycles.
You need to stop presenting.
Oh,
Yeah, present yourself, Charles.
Thank you, Carol. God, man, if it wasn't for y'all, I'd probably still be in bed. And I got to remember to stop presenting myself after this. How does everybody else remember that I'm not presenting myself? Yeah.
We can see it.
Oh.
We can still see Scott, so we knew you, and you were talking.
Okay, see, because all I can see is whoever I click on, so yeah, I'm real organized, so we have a lot of people in line to take my job, but thank y'all. Okay, I'm doing this mirror image because of the image is backwards to me. This is the Harley Davidson logo. Technically, you're not supposed to mess with Harley Davidson due to copyright, same with this kind of stuff, but I'm a rebel. No, that sounded very tacky. I like finding any design I can. But anyway, this one is 2 feet tall. So that being next to this one, this is, if you're familiar with NASCAR, that is one of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s old paint schemes. That is 4 feet wide by 2 feet tall. I don't remember the dimensions of any of these other ones, but that should give you an idea based on the dimensions I gave you those. That's a train. That's a Peterbilt 57 Chevy Bel Air, I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. And that's the Joker. And if you're into little girly things, I'll show you
You're getting better at your Vanna White skills.
my Vanna White skulls.
Skills.
Oh.
You know, like the Wheel of Fortune pointing.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, wait, was that a dig or what? Okay, now I understand what you're saying. I don't have this glued together yet, so it's a little hard to present.
Your flat ain't as good as looking as Vanna White
Oh,
either.
no, I'm not anywhere near as good looking. This is made out of aromatic cedar. These are just individual blades. I haven't glued them together yet. That's why it took me so long to get them up here. And you can get that design among many others. Now, thank you very much, Mark. You don't have to say that in chat. You're welcome to say it out loud. That's awesome. Thank you. We have 7 viewers. If y'all want to ask or throw up a page you have, we can throw that to the other viewers. But on my website, which I'll get to here in a little bit, you will see patterns that just show one single blade like this. So if you see a blade that looks like this on the website, that's what I'm advertising. You only need to buy one design, and you just repeat that design however many times for however big you want the fan. And another
How do
thing
you attach those together?
I haven't yet, but I would imagine. Okay, I have it sort of backwards. I'm just going to roughly open it up, but I have holes down at the bottom.
Yeah, but what kind of device do you think you'd use? Like just a screw and nut, or?
I think you could use a screw or a nut if you wanted to, and just try to match the color. Or you could use a small dowel. Just make that hole on each side if you want. I don't have it lined up because I'm not real organized. Or you could put it in the position that you wanted, glue a dowel in there, and it'll always be open. And when you get these arranged how you want them, you can glue those together.
Yeah.
Where they overlap. And the other example would be, let me get this one set up. This is my wife's name. I made wait, it's going to be kind of hard to hold up without knocking over. Oh, you can't really see it because everything is dark. Thank you very much, Michael Hiddo. Her name is Karen. I'm trying to find a dark backdrop. Maybe I should just stand up because I'm pretty wide. Wait. This is not going to be real organized, as you can tell. Okay, this is not working because I'm not coordinated, but that's my wife's name, Karen. Or I'm doing it backward. Thank you. And on the website, I have each letter of the alphabet for sale with this design. And speaking of the website, we don't have to sit here and watch me pose like Vanna White anymore. Thank you for pointing that out, Mark. Let's go to Charlie's website. And that won't take very long because I don't have any finished products on there yet, is why I had to show there. I don't need to show spam. This is my website. It doesn't look very fancy from here, but it's called Wooden Visions. The areas that are most up to date are the Hangout pages. You can see past shows. This is where today's show will be posted. These are the other episodes, and that's under videos. You just scroll down to which ones. There's nothing under tutorials or projects yet, but there's the international show, and here we have God knows how many episodes now of the US show. That's my wife. Excuse my sniffing. I woke up sneezing. We are up to 12 episodes so far on that. And the part I had the most fun doing was the pattern catalog. And the reason why I wanted to show this one off, I quite a bit of help from Rick Hutchison, his son, and a guy named Jason McGinn. What makes this so unique is it's really easy to navigate. Now, I have book types, ebooks. I also sell downloadable ebooks that you can, well, I say downloadable, I gotta email them to you, but anyway, you print them out, and the only ones that don't show the pictures on the inside are these here. These are baskets, and I've done videos, so hopefully you can find those about how to assemble those baskets. Anyways, I'll just scroll through quickly and not try to show you each one, but if you wanted to see what was in each book, because I know that some of the thumbnails are kind of hard to see, and for those that are, for lack of a better word, complaining or critiquing that my thumbnails are too small, it's because unfortunately we in the scrolling community or in the designing community, there are a lot of thieves out there, so you got to post them kind of small, unfortunately. And I'm sorry for anybody that bothers or inconveniences. But anyway, is this, when you click on what's inside, it'll show you. If you liked only like 3 of the cats, you could order only 3 of the cats. You'd end up paying more because they're $7 each versus $9.99 for all of them. But I only have a few books. This is, if you wanted to categorize the books, movie characters would be John Wayne. I have 4 of those. I'm not going to go through every single pattern type or keyword, but that's what makes this site unique, at least among a few people. Let me just pick, okay. These are, I clicked on cross for, cross and religious for pattern type. So if you're looking for strictly religious themed and or crosses, then that's where you would go. And let me pick another unique one. Screw it, I'll move down to the keywords. These dates here are 99% to do with vehicles because I have old vehicles in there. That's a 1930 truck of some kind. I don't remember if it was a Chevy or Ford, but anyways, that's what these numbers are. 400 would be for a GTO 400. Tupac Shakur is an old rapper, killed many years ago, but I'm not going to go through every keyword. I'm just explaining what some of these keywords mean. I believe I have one in here called ornate. This is where I wanted to show you the fan blades I just showed you physically. And it's in alphabetical order to make people like me easier to find them. Where's ornate? There's ornate. Okay, these are like masks, but I'm probably going to prove myself wrong. See, now the dang fans aren't under there. Where the heck are they? I think Russ hit them when I wasn't looking. I don't know what category they're under because I'm not awake yet. But anyways, there's a whole bunch of keywords over here. You'll eventually find them, I swear. Yeah, I know there's quite a bit, but I wanted to make the search for a specific, like if you're into Willie Nelson for some reason, he's a country singer in the United States. You click on that, that's all you'll find. That way you don't have to go through every single keyword if you know what you're looking for. Eventually, I will hopefully have numbers on the actual thumbnails, and then you would just be able to type in here. But I hope that covers the website for the most part. Now, if you ever want to get back to the home page, you would just click there where it says home page, and there's really not much to see everywhere else, but for the sake of it, I'll show you. Free scroll saw patterns. I only have one up there right now, but this is where you'll be able to see the video I was telling you about. This is a free pattern of an oval basket, and this video will show you how those baskets go together. Not being cut, is strictly showing you from the pattern, but this picture should help in how that video tells you how this goes together. So this represents the top and bottom in the guide, and blue will represent your top and bottom weaves, and red will represent the middle weave. But I hope that'll all make sense if you actually watch the video. Again, that is woodenvisions.com. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to stop presenting myself because I remembered that. I'm going to stop screen sharing, stop presenting myself so people aren't stuck with just my face. It says I'm presenting to everybody. I already was. Stop presenting. Okay. Thank you for watching and sitting through that without vomiting. Unless if you did, don't tell me. Fran Benson says, Charlie, because your patterns are raster GIF, how easy are they to resize? You can use a website I use called rapidresizer.com. You can make it as big or as small as you want. When I make my patterns, I scan them in at 300 dpi, which is dots per inch on a scanner, so that if you do enlarge them, they won't be distorted. So I hope that helps any. They are in GIF format, but the ebooks are the only ones that come in PDF format, and those are vectorized to be put into the book. And anything bigger than a page is broken into more than one page. Anyway, thank you very much.
A little comment about that.
Go ahead, Russell.
Because I have a few of your patterns I've bought, and if you take your patterns, because you make your patterns rather large, and shrink them down too far, it's going to be impossible to cut as many as much detail as they have it. So that's something you're going to have to be careful if you buy them and think you're going to put them on an 8 by 10 or an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in the process of going through and simplifying some of my more detailed patterns. I haven't gotten those on the site yet because that's a long process. I thought I had a little under 600 patterns, but come to find out I'm getting closer to 1,000, so I got a lot more work to do. But for an example, I'm pointing with my cursor so if y'all can see it. This one here will be simplified. Like right now, the grill is very intricate. I don't know how well you can see that, but almost every pattern I have, I will go through and simplify so there's less cuts and less, intricate fretwork like the trailer on this truck and stuff like that. So I am looking out for the beginners and or people that haven't been doing it very long. And that will eventually down the road. So some things can be cut in 8 by 10, and I believe some of those ebooks have 8 by 10s. I just don't remember which ones because I'm not awake. This pattern is not for sale, obviously, because it's NASCAR related. Well, mainly because I made 2 of these, and I do break things, and that's why there's only one, because I broke one before I could get the backer on it. I'm pretty risky when it comes to.
I think when you get some of your stuff simplified, it'll actually help, because a lot of people, when they look at those, are scared flat out to death because of not only their size but the detailed work that you've put into them. So I'm hoping that once you simplify some, you'll sell a lot more.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you on that. Some people, oh wow, Mark Sherman just made a purchase. Hey! I mean, thank you, Mark. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, some people have the ability to do detail, but they don't want to, like in Russ's case, most people don't want to spend 2-3 days on a project. That's another reason for simplifying. It's not just to appease the beginners. It's also for people that don't want to spend days and days and days doing a cutting. So that would be another reason why. That being said, I have no clue what to talk about next because everybody done shown and told. So, God, we still got 15 minutes left in the show. What do we do? We got 8 viewers. Y'all ask us something. Does anybody on the panel have anything they'd like to ask or comment about or therapy? Okay, Carol Kolonowski, what would you like to say, sir?
I have a question for those professional scrollers. Do you use the pedal switch for scrolling?
Okay, most commonly referred to as the foot switch. The only time I ever used it, if y'all remember one of my past backdrops, I had the group Metallica up here. I used a foot switch for that because it was 5 feet wide and I had to have both my hands on that, so I used a foot switch for that. But that's a good topic to go down the line on. Scott Marshburn, have you ever used a foot switch? for your scroll saw or any tool.
Who's it, me?
Scott Marshburn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Turn my. Charles, no, I don't. The only scroll saw I have is just the old Sears Craftsman. It's got a on-off switch, and most of the other tools I've used do not have any kind of foot switch control, except for maybe some pneumatic tools. I have a pocket hole cutter that mashes the pedal down and it cuts the pocket holes. That's about it.
Well, that's cool. Well, in most cases, the foot switch is an aftermarket or accessory that can be bought for just about any tool. Basically, you plug your tool into the foot switch and the foot switch into the wall. And because most tools have an on-off switch, not to insult you, but this lets you. This is only certain kinds of foot switches, but it'll let you turn it on and off with your foot if your hands are full, like in the case of when I was doing that large picture. So I hope that helps some. I believe that can be done with any tool. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. And before I move on, we have Rand Benson in the Q&A section says, Charlie, when I watch your YouTube videos, I see you don't glue a pattern to your wood. How do you transfer the images to the wood? Yeah, I do it the hard way, or the time-consuming way. I will trace it with just transfer paper onto the wood and just sand it off later. And some people seeing all this intricate stuff saying, my God, how do you sand that off without it falling off? Well, number one, you save as many pieces as you can. With a palm sander, you're covering a bigger area. If you save the waste pieces and put them back in place, it has more of a flat surface to go on there. And sometimes you can just very lightly rub the sandpaper. If you don't bear down on the transfer paper, then it shouldn't show up very dark. And I read somewhere, I could be wrong, I believe a woodworker named Dima, I can't remember his last name, discovered that you can use mineral spirits, or it was either that or paint thinner, and it'll wipe pencil lines right off. Even though this is transfer paper, it may do the same for that, but that's a good little tip to know. Thank you, Rand, for that. But yes, I resize my patterns in rapidresizer.com, and then I go trace it onto the wood. That's why it's not unusual to. I'll show you an example. Forgive me for not being prepared. This will be my next project video, but this is an example of what I use Rapid Resizer for. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sheets of paper. It just what Rapid Resizer does is you can resize it to what you want, and it'll tell your printer in a PDF file how many pages to print, and then you just tape them together, and that's how big this one's going to be. So that'll be my next project video, most likely, because I owe it to somebody as a gift. So I hope that answered everybody's questions. And Fran was also asking if I trace every line. Yes, ma'am. Otherwise, the line wouldn't be there, and I don't mean that to be tacky. That's the way I knew how to answer that. Yes, I trace every single line. Sometimes I'll change my mind as I go. Did I see somebody raise their hand? I guess I did. Okay, does anybody on the panel have a question or a comment? Or okay.
Well, when I did your Yoda pattern, I just glued it directly to the wood, and I used mineral spirits to pull the paper off. I had a little bit of residual, but the sander took care of that, not a problem. So.
Good deal.
But using the mineral spirits definitely peeled the paper right up, though.
Absolutely, and I believe, thank you for that, Mark. Russell Clarity, has a video out on his method of attaching and how easy it is to remove with mineral spirits. If you want to get into that, Russ, since we've still got 12 minutes left in the show and 6 viewers.
You can go to my YouTube channel, Simply Wooden Creations, and I show how I attach and remove the pattern using mineral spirits. It doesn't make that big of a mess. I just wanted to go back to real quick on your thing about the foot switch that you were talking about earlier. Okay. I use it's actually called a dead man switch, I believe. I use it on mine, and I would be lost without it. I use it every time I sit down at the scroll saw. But there is a difference between what we would call a dead man switch, and they have another foot switch out there which actually is it will actually control. Yeah, it will control the speed They're used a lot of times for routers and other items like that, but you have to be very careful in using one of those with one of our variables type speed scroll saws. For instance, the DeWalt or the Delta scroll saw, if you try to use that switch that will change the speed of the scroll saw, you will burn up your circuit board on your scroll saw. Scroll saw is already designed to be variable speed, and then you're adding another one on it, so you can have some problems. Now, I have a Delta scroll saw, the 4694, I think it is, or 60, whatever. I can't remember the number, but it's the equivalent to the DeWalt 788, and I use the dead man switch, which is basically you push down on it, the saw comes on, you let your foot off, and the saw goes off. And I've had my Delta now for probably 4 years, maybe 5, somewhere in that area, and use that dead man switch and have not had any problems with the saw whatsoever.
Good deal. Yeah, dead man switch is a kind of what the United States people call slang. It would be just another term we use for it. You won't find it if you looked under a store and you put in dead man switch, they'd laugh at you because they don't know what that is.
Here in the United States, Harbor Freight carries them. Matter of fact, I have one from my older Craftsman saw that came from Harbor Freight. It just so happened to be that the Delta, when I bought it in the package, it came with one. So.
Alrighty. Being that we have still not, first of all, Michael Hado, Norwegian Wood says, I've also got a Delta I found using mineral spirits. It's particularly easy, smooth for hardwoods. Thank you for that, Michael. And I know I've done this in the past, but being that we have 9 minutes to kill, I'm going to go ahead. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I think, unless I'm just blind to other reasons, I think the reason why the basket designs I've put out there have not sold is people are not real sure how they go together or how it's done. So forgive me for repeat performance. And the pattern I put out is of this basket. It's not glued together, so it's not going to look perfect. And I have the camera on rust, so that made a lot of sense. Anyway, it's not glued together, so it's not, uniform and everything, but the pattern will consist of a top and a bottom, which is all one pattern. You'll just have a single oval there. You'll have a little one inside of it, and that will be the guide that will be glued to the underside of the lid that will keep that lid from sliding around because of the weave patterns. And I know I've said this before, but I just want to reiterate how easy these baskets are to do. But in the PDF pattern, you will find a blue color layer and a red color layer. The blue represents the top and bottom weaves. And all of these baskets are 3 layers. If you want to add more, you're welcome to, but there's 2 of them. You don't stack cut them unless you do them out of paper thin wood, but that's that. And the red one represents that middle layer, and once again, these aren't glued together, so you got to bear with me. And that's what 2 layers look like together from the top. And then you put all 3 of them together and glue them where the dowels are, which are, these little circled areas. And that's what it would look like. So every basket is designed like that. It's not the same shape, but that's not lined up perfectly because I'm holding it by hand and it's not glued. But all you do is glue those 3 layers together, glue those to the bottom, and that's all the gluing you have to do except for the guide on the inside of the lid that I don't have on this one because I cut this before I designed that guide. And then you have a completed basket. So the pre-pattern section that I showed you on my website, it has the pattern for this specific basket. And in case you didn't see the video in the past, I did design it with thicker walls than this, so it should be easier to make than this one was. And these are just pine and birch plywood, but I hope that helps. I hope that helps people consider looking into these basket designs. They're unique designs. Unique shape designs. So I just hope if by seeing that, maybe that'll help some people decide what they would like to do, or whether or not I don't know, because I'm just babbling, because I'm still not entirely awake. We have nothing in the Q&A section except for one thing. Fran Benson, a very active participator this morning, thank you, Fran, says, have any of you used, I don't know how to pronounce it, XYLENE, xylene, to transfer laser print to wood? I've seen a couple of YouTube videos demonstrating, but I haven't had much luck myself. I know Karol Kolonowski used, I believe, an iron or something with a laser printer, didn't you, Karol? Transfer a picture to wood? You made it.
No, no, I was using the labeling paper, and I printed on ink. It was an ink printer.
Okay.
And I printed on the labeling, on the piece of paper with labels. I take off the labels, and then you have this, smooth surface of the paper. I printed the picture mirror reversed, and then I transfer it to the wood.
Alrighty, I'll be right with you, Mark Sherman. Thank you for that. Karol, Norwegian wood, Michael Hano says, are there any specific species of wood that the panel members would love to use in a project but not easily available to them? That would be almost any wood for me, because I'm broke, but I guess I could go down the, well, let me see what Mark Sherman wanted, then we can go down the line. Thank you for that, Michael Hano.
This is how I brand my work. I use like a laser toner, and just use an iron transfer or whatever, like one of those wood burners. So that's just a laser. So it's kind of like the same thing that Kolonowski was talking about.
All right.
Laser toner.
Yeah, it just basically reheats the toner, and you got to print it out backwards so that it shows up. It shows
exactly
up right ways. And you thank you for that, Mark. You it just reheats the toner on the paper and makes it stick to the wood. And I forgot where I was going next because I'm still not awake.
I just talking about that using xylene on the laser. I haven't ever done it, but there are several videos on YouTube if you want to go through and take the time to scroll through it or put into the search engine about that. And I've watched a few of them, but I haven't, done it at all. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. If you want to know how to do it or learn how to do it, there are several videos. I've seen them on YouTube.
All right, thank you very much for us. We have 8 viewers and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in the room, with myself included. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or requests for future shows? Anything that they would like to? I saw Karol unmute himself, so I guess he has something to say.
I just want to say that Michael had a question and nobody answered yet.
I thought I did.
Just you did.
Oh.
And he asked about panel members.
Okay, I got to go back to the question because I've blinked since then. Would love to use a project. Okay, is there any? Okay, let me read that from the beginning. Are there any specific species of woods that the panel members would love to use in a project but is not easily available to them? Being that you asked the question, Michael Hano, I will go ahead and ask you first.
Well, for me, hardwoods in America, in England, are very expensive. So it's pretty much any hardwood for me, but a specific one would be rosewood.
Rosewood, that's a beautiful wood. Okay, I appreciate that, and I apologize for skipping over. It seems like the panel is keeping me in line today. I'm usually a little closer to being on the ball, but the whole lack of sleep thing. But let me go down the line. We have 2 minutes left, but I'll go ahead and just fill it up with the going down the line. Scott Marshburn, do you have a wood that you would like to use, but it's kind of hard to access, or not easily available?
Well, most of the exotic woods are pretty relatively available in my neck of the woods. That would be the only thing I could think of would be, an exotic hardwood. or something like that.
Yeah. And I know, being in North Carolina, there's a heck of a lot of pine trees around there. I used to live there. So that's definitely their main source of wood. Hobsy Boom, is there any kind of special exotic wood that you would like to use that you find hard to get? You're muted, Hachi.
Well,
You,
well, everything is hard to get here,
you
and so I'm lucky. I have a friend who imports special woods, and he is not so expensive either. So if I need something, I can ask him if he have it, and well, if I'm lucky, then I can buy it for a reasonable price. But it's very hard to get special wood here, and it's very expensive.
Yeah, I understand it. And I've heard people joke before, that there's a wood out there called African mahogany, and somebody asked, if you live in Africa, is that considered just mahogany, or is it considered exotic? It's kind of a funny but good question. I mean, I wonder if the people that live in the countries that they come out of, do they consider it exotic or domestic like we do pine? But let me go down the line. Karol Kolonowski, is there any kind of specialty wood you'd like to get a hold of that's kind of hard to get?
I would like to try the zebra wood or zebrano, with the stripes, because it looks amazing, but it's so expensive here. But I love every time I see some project made out of this wood is amazing. So I would like to use that someday. If anyone want to send me some samples, I'll love them.
Absolutely. You should just call me a wood hoarder. I'll take any wood anybody will give me.
Are you talking the zebra wood?
Yeah,
wood maker.
I think it's called zebra wood in States, and in UK it's called zebrano. I don't know why, but it looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a nice quarter-inch piece of that I have yet to cut. I hear it's pretty hard, but I guess quarter-inch wouldn't be too bad.
Norwegian Michael Hado says he has never been able to get zebra wood, and Humphrey Boom says ask shops where they sell wooden floors if they have some. That's a good idea.
Yeah, there's no shops available here, and all the shops that selling floors are the basic ones,
Yeah.
the laminate flooring, not the
Solid wood.
solid wood. I found two shops that's selling countertops, wooden countertops, and I managed to get some wood from them. But most of them, the most exotic was the American walnut, and it looks amazing. They have some countertops out of zebra wood, but they didn't have any offcuts. But it's too thick for doing any scroll saw, I think, because it's about 2 inches. 2 inches.
That's
Well,
pretty
well,
thick, especially.
well,
Go
I got
ahead.
some wood from the floor industry, and sometimes they have oak, they have some special woods from Africa or whatever, but you can get it through the planer and you get it thinner, and then you can use it very well, and it's very cheap. And sometimes they dump it and they throw it away because they are replacing some floors or whatever, and you can get it then. And that's the cheapest special woods if you need some.
I got some wood boards from offcuts of floors, but I get it when I was in Poland because my friend has a company doing it, and I got very hard wood. But I try to scroll something with it. It's not that thick, but it's so hard. A piece like that, it's about 4 pounds, so
Wow.
it's so dense. I tried to turn it, and it was blunting my tools immediately. I tried to cut it on a scroll saw, and I break 3 blades in about 1 inch cut, not deep, but length. So I didn't. It's too hard for me. One is called African walnut, and one is Indian rosewood or something like that, and it's good for other projects, but not for scrolling.
I hear you. Thank you all for that. Mark Sherman is holding up a piece of zebra wood. It's very beautiful wood. Very nice. That's relatively thin.
Yeah, this is quarter-inch stock.
Good deal.
Haven't cut it yet, but looks pretty nice.
Where'd you get that from?
There's a place called Rockler. Well, I'm sure you've heard of Rockler. So I got this piece up in Minnesota when I was visiting family up there. So.
So I assume you could get it on rockler.com as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that being said, in the Q&A section, Fran, I see your question, but since we just talked about wood, I'm going to go ahead and go to Joseph Michael Garrett. He's asking, what do you consider the best sources for hardwoods, retail, internet, or whomever? I know one store that is popular in the United States, I don't know where you are, Joseph Michael Garrett, is Woodcraft. Online, there's Okuch Hardwoods, there's Sloan's Wood Shop, I believe, .com. And it's not uncommon to see people diving in dumpsters outside of a cabinet shop, because it breaks my heart seeing pretty wood in a trash can or a dumpster. Oh, Lord. In the interest of fairness, Fran wanted to ask Michael Haddo, what kind of wood do you use creating your compound pieces, and what types of blade do you use for cutting?
Okay. Well, normally for the chest, it had to be contrasting colours, so I use sycamore and walnut, which is relatively similar to maple and walnut. So I tend to use hardwoods, but they're not the easiest to cut, especially if they're an inch or more thick. I'd recommend probably softer woods, such as pine, or I think it's called red cedar or Wellingtonian or something like that. It's cedar, and it's a really soft wood and easy to cut. And in terms of blades, I'd use reverse tooth blades ranging from size 5 to size 9. Doesn't really matter what brand, whether it's Flying Dutchman or Olsen, but you want really reverse tooth blades if you're cutting quite thick wood.
Thank you for that, Michael, and I apologize for earlier saying I don't remember if you scroll saw or not, because I go through so many different panel members from 2 different shows, and I forget who does what, so I apologize for not realizing that you specialize in scroll sawing. So that being said, unless we have any more comments from the 8 viewers and however many panel members, then we may go ahead and close the show. Does anybody have anything they want to close out with, a question, comment, or request for a future show? That includes viewers. Going once. Okay, doesn't look like we have anybody who wants to say anything. So, thank you for watching season 1 of episode 5. Season 1, episode 5. I'm still not awake. I'm scrolling with Charlie, but like I say every week, please don't scroll naked. Whatever you do, scroll on.